A very good evening to all the participants in this live streaming session on mindfulness and emotional strength. This is the third session under the Mind Over Matter series. I, Gaurav Talan, on behalf of NSS Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, welcome all the participants to this session. It is my pleasure today to introduce our guest of the day, Mr. Rama Krishna, who is a psychologist and a management coach by profession, and a meditator by passion. He believes and practices the combination of modern psychology and ancient meditation in his interventions to make lives better and fulfilling. He travels extensively across the country and abroad to bring about a qualitative positive change in organization and groups. He also has a diversified experience in multiple fields. He has done his master's in science of psychology and management, MS in counseling, Master of Philosophy in Organizational Psychology, and also an MBA in Crisis Management and Human Resources. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I request all the participants to kindly keep themselves on mute throughout the session and ask their questions in either the YouTube live chat or Zoom chat box only. These questions then will be compiled and taken up separately at the end of the session. So without any further delay, sir, I request you to kindly enlighten us with your wisdom.
Thank you for inviting me to the session where students, you all, how important your mind is. You may have observed sometimes, especially when you're studying, your eyes are going through the text. You are reading it out as well. But if your mind is not just inside, so it's so important that our mind needs to be connected. The external world is a manifestation of your choices, your relationships, the way your harmonious relationships with your siblings, friends, it all depends inside. What's happening inside has its effect on the outside world that you create for yourself. Dear students, if you just observe yourself, there is a different inner world in yourself.
Excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry to interrupt in between. Uh, but sir, your voice is not clear. Your voice is cracking. So, in case you can recheck your microphone and if we can do a quick
Doing
voice
lot of
test and
noise.
re-begin.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Is my voice clear now?
No, sir. It's not clear yet.
Give me a
Maybe you
second.
can detach. Maybe you can detach and attach your microphone again, and then try. So guys, it seems to be a small technical glitch. We are trying our best to get Sir on board again. I just request you guys to please patiently wait for a few seconds and we will be on it again.
Am I audible?
Sir, if is it if it is not still clear, your voice is still not clear, I request you not to use the microphone and please try to speak without attaching any microphone, sir. See if that works.
So, am I audible?
It's still not clear, sir. It's still not clear.
Give me a minute.
Yeah.
So, is it clear now, Gaurav?
It is perfectly clear, sir. I hope everyone is able to hear, sir, because I am able to hear you, sir. Fine, sir. We can begin now, sir. Sir, you need to turn on the video. I think the video is not on. Yes, yes, it is fine. It is perfectly fine. Now we can begin. Sir, now video is on, but your voice is not coming.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is perfectly fine. So everyone, after a few technical glitches, we are back on track. Sir, request you to please carry forward the session.
Sorry for the inconvenience. And these things are quite natural. And we have to take them in the same spirit. I was just speaking to you with respect to our mind. There is an inner world which creates our external world. There is so much happening within ourselves. If we could observe and try to see what's there inside, there's a beautiful world. Our thoughts, which are not physical, manifest so much into the external world. Everything that we see in the external world is somewhere a thought which was created by someone else at a point of time. So these every thoughts has its impact on the external world. Today, in our session, we are going to discuss about the inner world, how our thoughts create our external world is what we are going to see. If you look at inside, there are so many thoughts coming. We have positive thoughts, we have negative thoughts, we have neutral thoughts, useful thoughts, useless thoughts, unnecessary thoughts. Sometimes these thoughts just flow by themselves without your participation. Silently observe the quality of these thoughts. The quality of these thoughts is the quality of ourselves. If these thoughts are very, very positive, there is hope, there is optimism, there is enthusiasm, happiness in the thoughts, then you understand that you're going ahead. If the thoughts are pessimistic, if the thoughts are negative, if the thoughts are of doubt, suspicion, if the thoughts are creating such feelings which are not very motivating, then naturally your state of mind slowly comes down. So these thoughts have a very powerful impact. Many things can happen around us. There are some people who appreciate us. There are some people who criticize us. There may be people who laugh at you. There may be people who appreciate you. See, how you take it into yourself is more important than what actually the other people are saying. Do you take the situations that are happening around you has a powerful impact on you than that of the situations themselves. If you're able to take a very, very negative situation in an optimistic way, that will help you that will create enthusiasm and energize you. For example, criticism. If you take criticism as a challenge, you perceive it totally differently. Instead of that, if you take criticism and feel sad about it, you'll start feeling weak. You'll not be able to do what you can do. Leave it all, take doing something extraordinary. Even normal things you'll not be able to do in a natural way when something is bothering in your mind. It's not about what's happening around you, but it is about how you take what's happening around you. Your thoughts generate feelings in you. And these feelings slowly create emotions in you. Some people take it totally differently, and their emotions are positive. Some people take it very, very negatively, so their feelings and their emotions become negative. Where do you want to go? Which one of them is energizing you? Which one of them are empowering you? Have a look at it. Thoughts, feelings, emotions. There's so many memories. Out of these memories, if you have a look, which of those memories are you recollecting? What are those incidents that you are revisiting in your life? There are so many good things happen in your life. At the same time, there are some things which you may not like, which are not so positive. Are you visiting those memories which are empowering you, or are you visiting those memories which are making you weak? Your emotions are based on that. What's actually happening may be very small, but if you think more about it, then that has an impact. Two people going through the same incidents, same situations in life, respond to those situations differently. Why do they respond differently? They respond differently because they perceive it differently. They define it differently. Their personality has an impact on it. How do we define things? We define on the basis of our experiences, on the basis of our learning, on the basis of our perceptions. Yes, we do. And that has a very powerful impact on the present day situations. If you are happy, you perceive things differently. If you're sad, you perceive things differently. So keeping yourself happy, optimistic, positive, enthusiastic is very, very important. Students, you are at a wonderful period of your life. Maybe there are so many uncertainties. Maybe there is confusion. Maybe the present scenario where you're locked down and you're not able to go outside, this is the best time for you to explore yourself and improve yourself internally. You may be spending your time entertaining yourself or preparing yourself or studying, exploring new courses or something, or you're passing your time. Time is very valuable. We all know it. Some of us spend time. It is spending. Some of us kill time. Whose time are we killing? Time is life. Some of us are using our time. Some of us are investing our time. Time is that powerful resource which everyone is provided equally. How you utilize that time creates your world. So your thoughts, your responses, your feelings, your emotions, in your whole memories, the bank of your memories, when you visit any incident that creates positive or negative feelings, naturally your emotions are also generated. Emotions are of different types. Some emotions energize you, give you a very good feeling. And some emotions are so intense that they have a very, very powerful impact on you negatively. Love is a beautiful emotion. It's a very nice emotion. Your parents loved you so much. There are so many people who have given you a lot of affection and love in your life. Whenever you're remembering those incidents or those uh, happenings which have happened in your life, that gives you a very good feeling. When two people sync positively, there is a lot of nice communications taking up in the mind, and that has a powerful impact. And there are some emotions which drain you. For example, anger. Anger is a powerful emotion, but you see, it has two dimensions in it. One which operates, which is visible on the face, on the external dimension. The other, which is being processed internally. One of our masters beautifully explained that anger is a royal form of crying. Externally, you look angry person looks to be very powerful, but anger is such an emotion which looks to be powerful, which has a very dominant influence, a very powerful influence temporarily. But the person inside is feeling the pain. It is a different form of communicating the pain. Whenever you see people in anger, you need not just get disturbed. You can, if you can try to understand the pain the person is going through, which is an inner dimension. In softwares, you have the front end software and the back end software. Anger is the front end one, but pain or feeling sorrow, feeling low, or feeling inferior is an internal dimension, that internal software. Whenever you are angry, how to handle your anger? Okay, it leads, these emotions leads to catastrophic outcomes. Whenever anger comes in you, you lose your control. You lose your control in your thoughts, lose your control in your words, leads your control in your behavior as well. Now, how to control this anger is a question which comes into everyone's mind. No, you can't control anger. Anger is an outcome. The more you try to control your anger, the more it comes. The best way is, first of all, not trying to handle anger at that moment. Yes, instead of which, if you can look into yourself and see what is it that is creating me this aggression inside me. It's a reaction. Is it, do I need to react to situations or do I need to respond to situations? Anger is a form of controlling the external environment. Maybe the people, maybe the external environment, trying to control the external environment. Better, the right way is to control your internal environment, internal world. Your perspectives, your belief systems, your thoughts have an impact on your behavior. So if you want to change your behavior, you need to work on your thoughts. You need to work on your belief system. Anger is a way of expressing your feeling, agony, or your pain. But there are better ways to do that. You can discuss things. You can negotiate. You can explain. You can sit. You can have a dialogue. Difference of opinions. And that too, when you have strong difference of opinions, then you see that this anger is coming. Because friends, you have seen people in your lives, maybe, who have communicated their dissonance or communicated their differences with strong emotions of negative emotions. But you see, if you still observe people, there are so many other people as well who communicate their strong differences in a very peaceful way, in a very harmonious way. And you see some beliefs like everyone should treat me very well, okay? And everyone should like me. Is it possible? Some people may like you, some people may not like you. But that doesn't mean that the people who don't like you, you start having conflict with them. No, not required. If you define yourself in your beliefs that it is possible that some people like me, it is good that if everyone likes me, but it's if not be possible, but still it is okay. If people differ with me, I listen to them with respect. If this is the thought which you create, then when strongly people are differing with you, you will not really mind. You'll not feel aggressive. You'll be able to handle it in a better way. So there are so many different emotions. For example, someone criticizes you. Someone may have said that you're not fit for something. Now, if you start taking it, you may feel sad. That may create an emotion of sadness in you. Right. What happens if someone has a perspective on me that I'm not fit for that? Okay, fine. If I'm not fit for something, I will try to be fit for that. I will try to improve on myself. Oh, is it? Thank you for this feedback. I'll work on that. Yes, it's possible. Then you will see a different dimension of yourself. Irritation, taunting others, conflicting with others, or being very pessimistic about your own self. See, we need to understand one beautiful thing, which is very, very important. Every individual is different, special, and wonderful. Everyone has their own unique qualities. Every individual has their own powers, their own beautiful fortune. They have some wonderful arts in themselves. They're unique and they're different. You are unique and you are different. You are special. There are some very good qualities in you which are very unique for yourself. You need to identify them. You need to respect those thoughts, those good qualities of your own self. You can't compare this person with anyone in the world. Now, I'll ask you a question. Try to understand it this way. Every cell of your body is different. Your fingerprint, will it match with anyone in this whole universe? Never, it's not possible. Your retina, will it match with anyone in this world? You may have similar people looking like you, but it will never match with anyone else in the whole universe. You're unique, isn't it? Yes, you are. Then how are you comparing yourself with anyone else? Now, what happens when you compare with anyone else? As you compare with anyone else, now, if you are better than them, there is a different emotion which comes in you. And if they are better than you, it is different. So now, that's the reason why we call it as complexes. You would have heard about this word complex. There is an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. Then what is simple? This superiority complex is when you're feeling, again, it's a feeling, okay? You're better than someone else or so many other people. Now there is a possibility of that complex coming in. It doesn't come to everyone, but for some people it does. And if you're finding that some others are better than you, maybe there is a possibility of you feeling inferior about yourself. Now, in these two scenarios, you are not natural. You are not what you are. Then when will you be yourself? So these two are complexes. Then what is simple? Friends, simple is being yourself. Acknowledging yourself, appreciating yourself, identifying those unique and special qualities of your own self. Then how to identify these qualities? First of all, believe that there are some qualities in yourself. First of all, believe that what you have discovered is very little. And this whole journey of your life, you'll be discovering yourself. You'll be discovering your special qualities. You'll be discovering there will be those eureka moments in everyone's lives. Have you not noticed sometimes you'd have done something and suddenly you felt, oh, is this me? Oh my God, I have this quality also. I could do this. That's the discovery. I mean, people say that it's self-discovery. It is about recognizing what you have in yourself. That can be any art, that can be any quality, that can be any speciality, any virtue, any value, any special art. Okay, there may be a possibility that there is an artist inside you. And you have never tried painting, or you have not ever tried music, never tried singing, or even if you tried, other people may have laughed at you at that point of time when you felt embarrassed and you don't do it again. But you see, there is an artist, there is a hidden artist, and you have not yet recognized. It's impossible that no one has any art in them. Every one of us has some art or the other. We need to recognize it. How do you recognize it? By introspecting yourself. First of all, believing in yourself. Other people may believe in you or not. That really doesn't matter. You need to believe in yourself. Your belief need not be on the basis of your success. It's only when you have success that you believe in yourself. That's not a right dimension. Even in your failures, you need that belief more in your failures than in your success. You need to be with yourself very strongly when you fail in life, or when you fail in anything that happens around you. You need to be with yourself. You need to be that source of power for yourself. So how would you do that? How would you look into that inner world and improve it? You need to understand that everything external, let it be your education, let it be your career, let it be your friendly relationships, let it be with your friends, let it be with your family, let it be with anyone else. It all depends upon what's happening inside. The inner mechanism influences the outer mechanism. The software of our mind is creating the hardware of the external world. How do we have access to it? How can we log in on into ourselves? See, for example, if you can silently sit for a few minutes and just observe yourself, what's happening inside? Sit peacefully sometime and don't participate into those thoughts. Don't start judging your thoughts, and silently observe what's happening inside. What are the different thoughts which are coming? What is the intensity of these thoughts? What is the material, raw material for these thoughts? Fears? Or any goals? Or to prove yourself before others? Why? What is the core of all the thoughts which are coming, especially in a student's life? You want to be someone wants to be this college first or university first. Okay, first of all, why? What is the requirement? Is it for the attention that I'm going to receive? Or Is it about me learning things in a better way? First, define it properly. If it is for learning, friends, you will enjoy your education like anything. If it is just for that certificate, just for the marks sheet, maybe the drive is different. Learning is a beautiful opportunity. Once you cross this life of student and enter into the real life, the way you are able to learn things now, you'll not be able to learn things with that intensity afterwards. This is the best time of anyone's life. And now, how your emotions impact your learning. Any emotion in an intense state, when it is working in you, you lose your concentration. Anger or aggression or hatred or jealousy or any other negative emotion has a very powerful impact on your mind and your brain processing. Then it has an impact on your learning. And then positive emotions, peacefulness, happiness, love, all these positive emotions increase your concentration. That will help you to focus on your education or your study, on your absorption, understanding in a different way. So now, if you just get inside and try to observe, that process is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is being aware of what's happening. Mindfulness is a beautiful practice. It's very simple. For example, you can start it with external or you can start it with internal. Mindfulness is being aware of what's happening around. And with detachment and less involvement, you're just silently observing your environment around you. And then that creates that beautiful space in between you and your environment. And this space is very, very wonderful. The stimulus, any stimulus, positive or negative, will create a response or a reaction in us. Reaction is an instantaneous thing which comes out, and a response is something, a well thought response. So whenever there is a stimulus, there is a reaction. Response is that state whenever the stimulus is coming, you create a space between the stimulus and response. And in this space, you fill it with thinking. In this space, you'll fill it with peace. In this space, you'll fill it with silence. Someone has said something. Okay, immediately there can be a reaction or there can be a response. A reaction can immediately come and then you get emotional, or you don't allow that to enter into you, and you, in between this, you add your thinking process. Oh, that person has a different perspective about me, and I respect that. Then the reaction is less. Then there is a response. It is not possible that everyone will be appreciating me. It is possible that some people don't like me, and I respect that. This thinking in between your stimulus and response can help you to handle things in a better way. Whenever you are getting aggression, understand that you have an autonomous reaction towards the stimulus. The thinking process has not initiated in between these two. The more gap you have between the stimulus and the response, the more control you have on the environment and the situation. You'll handle things in a better way. Friends, everyone has their own beautiful fortune. And for some people, it will be early, and some people, it will be a bit late. Don't worry. You have your own wonderful life ahead. Sometimes you may be seeing other people more successful, and sometimes you may not be able to see yourself more successful. Your time is going to come. It's in a process. You make your efforts. And then you'll be able to handle things in a better way. Right. Now, I'll explain you a few simple ways to practice mindfulness. Sit silently. Sit in a simple environment wherever you are. Take out a few minutes. And then first start with observing your external world. Maybe when you're sitting somewhere, there may be sounds around you. First, detach yourself, silently sit and listen to, hear to those sounds. And slowly shift your focus into your physical world, into your own body. Observe your breath. Take deep breaths. Observe your breaths. And then understand that this body is a beautiful, wonderful instrument. There are so many systems inside this body. The circulatory system, the digestive system, the nervous system, so many wonderful systems. It's an integrated process. And then now you feel this body and slowly shift your focus towards your thoughts and observe your thoughts silently. Just feel those thoughts and then allow these thoughts to just flow as they are naturally. Don't control them. Don't judge your thoughts. Be neutral. Let these thoughts flow. As these thoughts flow, then you just silently see those thoughts. As you see those thoughts, it's natural that the intensity of these thoughts slowly start coming down. And now, as these thoughts are coming down, then you can, then that is a point when slowly, peacefully, these thoughts start settling down. And at this point, this is the right point for you to create a thought from your own mind. Now, earlier it was the thoughts which the mind is creating and you're observing. And later is a state when you create a powerful thought in yourself. Like, I'm a peaceful being. I'm a happy person. And all those positive thoughts which you can create for yourself, maybe as a student, you can think that I have the best learning opportunities in my life. I'm learning something for the lifetime. It is a seeding time. And then you create some thoughts which energize you. You can create a vision for yourself and then connect to that vision. And then that is the point when your mind starts becoming optimistic. And then have a neutral state, detach from those thoughts, and slowly observe your breathe and come out. An external environment also. These small practices of mindfulness brings you focus, makes you very concentrated, and then that creates positive power in you. Now, the morning when you wake up, just recollect those beautiful moments. Everyone meditates in a natural state without knowing that they are actually meditating. If you just look at yourself in the morning, when you wake up, you from an unconscious state, you come into your subconscious state and then you come into your conscious state. In this process of coming from an unconscious state to a conscious state, you travel through a very peaceful state. And then the moment you wake up, even before you check your mobile, even before you log in or you think about other people, open your WhatsApp or any other thing, that few moments of awakening is a very, very, very powerful state. If you can create some positive thoughts and affirmations at that moment, those affirmations are going to stay with you for the whole day. Anything you begin, before you start something, sit in silence. Right. Now the lockdown will be open and you'll all be going to the institutions after some time. When you begin, when you start going, when you're just packing up and getting ready, at that point of time, sit for a moment and create some positive thoughts and affirmations, and then step out. These every beginning, if you create those thoughts in yourself, those thoughts will empower you and they will help you to handle things in a better way. At the same time, when you complete something, when you're starting your study time, when you're studying something, before you study, now focus your mind. Bring your whole concentration towards that subject. And recollect those things which you have studied in that subject some time back. Recollect them as much as possible. And bring your focus and then open. And when you complete something, and then at the end of it, you just recollect everything that you have studied in that study hour. And then after recollecting things into your mind, construct them properly and then close it. Friends, any thought which is moving in the mind continuously has an impact on everything that you do. Our mind is a wonderful space. And there are so many scattered thoughts in this mental space. And in this mental space, there is something called as our central space. Central space is that point, that space where your focus is existing. If that central space is scattered and there's so many things occupying that central space, you lose focus. Now, can we have mental reorganizing? Yes, we can. There are some things which need to be eliminated, and there are some things which are to be added into this mental space. Now, if you can group up everything in that mental space and categorize everything and organize it properly, then you will be able to bring your focus onto each and everything. Let the central space be free. Preoccupation. So many things which are occupied in the mind will not allow you to focus on something. So then, if you could categorize them, if you could allocate time and resources to them separately. For example, something is bothering in you, okay, and you can't find a solution for that, but you need to conclude it. If you don't give a conclusion to that, that would be bothering you continuously. For example, there is a timeline. You can attend to that only after a year. Then you can say to yourself that I'll be attending this in the next year. You need to give a conclusion. You need to give that space. If not, that would be occupying. Maybe some student would be trying for an examination to get an admission somewhere. Maybe this year he couldn't. If that is preoccupied in the mind, that is preoccupied in the central space, then the person would not be able to do anything else. So to have that neutrality, that emotional disconnection to what the person is doing, now this is a time when the person needs to prepare for the next season, but not to regret for what has happened. Now, even that has a timeline. So daily, if I would be allocating some time resource to that, I'll be able to achieve it in a period of time. That conclusion and that clarity is to be given to the mind. Then mind will take it and it will be naturally handling it around. There are two things which I would like to bring to you. The Gita-charya explains it this way: the Swadharma and the Paradharma. So what is this Paradharma and what is this Swadharma? Anything which is innate, which is yours, which is natural to you, is your Swadharma. Anything which is acquired, anything which is not natural, anything which has an emotion, intensified emotion in it, which is negative, is the Paradharma. Now, how to identify the difference between this Paradharma and the Swadharma? Now, if I ask you, Is anger swadharma or paradharma? Is anger acquired or innate? Then if you see how to identify whether something is innate or acquired, anything which is acquired would be there with you for only a temporary period of time. You won't find yourself to be natural in that state of mind. Let it be jealousies, let it be anger, let it be frustrations, let it be irritability, let it be hatred, let it be any negative emotion. All these come into the category of the paradharma. That's the reason why you will not find yourself to be natural in that state. And then you'll try to come back to your swadharma. Swadharma is harmony, peace, love, happiness. All these qualities are swadharma. Now, we'll understand this better with an analogy. Water. What is the innate quality of water? What is the swadharma of water? The characteristic feature of water? What is the tattva of water? Is it flows towards the slope and it occupies the container. Whichever space it occupies, it takes that shape. In the same way, water is transparent. Now, what are the paradharma of water? You take this water and keep it in the freezer, then it becomes solid. Actually, it is a liquid, but it becomes solid. That is in a different form. That is the paradharma. And if you boil this water, it evaporates. The coolness goes and it becomes hot. That is the paradharma. Now, what should we do when we are in paradharma? How to bring water back into its swadharma? Just you need to detach it from the external environment for some time and leave it. Then it will automatically come back to its swadharma. In the same way, mindfulness is a process. Whenever our mind goes out of the swadharma, we sit in silently and observe our mind, so it naturally comes back to its swadharma. Friends, every developmental stage has a very, very powerful contribution towards our life. Have you ever noticed small children in their early childhood? These children would be taking chalk pieces, eating chalk pieces. Then the parents try to control them. The parents say, why are you doing this? We are giving you everything. Why do you take these chalk pieces? Sometimes they even eat the soil. Do you know why? We try to control them. We try to punish them, but that habit doesn't go. Why? Why do they do that? We need to understand the developmental stages. In that developmental stage, there is a very high requirement of calcium. There is a nutrition deficiency. The body is rapidly growing. They need a lot of calcium to grow. So that is not enough from the food that they are taking. They want more calcium, so they are depending on. How is that brain knowing that they get calcium from those chalk pieces? That's the beauty of life. There is a natural intelligence. We need to understand that and try to use the best way that developmental stage. For example, very young children in the age of 1 to 7 years, at that time, scientifically it is observed that if these children are exposed to many languages, they will be learning so many languages very quickly and very naturally. How are they able to learn? There is a human brain capacity is about around 15 to 16 languages they can learn if they are taught in 1 to 7 years. Very easily and very naturally they will be able to learn. But you see, that is the potential which we have. But out of which, how many languages have we learned? Maybe 2, 3. And if anyone learns more languages, we think that it is extraordinary, but it's not extraordinary. Everyone is capable of doing that, but it is the exposure that we need to give. In the early days of the childhood, the children would like to tell everything about what's happening with their parents. So remember your childhood days. When you're going to the school, you used to come home and share with your parents everything that was happening. Right from the time when you were getting into the school bus, going to the school, and whatever you have learned, whatever has happened, you come back and tell to your mother. When your father comes, you tell to your father. Everything you tell. But you see what's happening now. At the adolescent stage, at the youth stage, generally, children don't speak much with their parents. Now, if they ask so many questions, you'll be giving one-word answers. Why is there such transition? Why is there that shift? Do you know why? Why you want to speak less? Why you want to speak minimal? There is a reason. See, at an early age, the developmental need at that time is the need for expression, need for attention. But now, as you grow, in the adolescent stage and the youthful stage, need are changed. Now there is a need, maybe, possibly, need of identity, need of taking their own decisions. Maybe there is privacy needs. Maybe there is a need of expressing things. There is a lot of confusion. And then maybe you want to take your own decisions. When elders try to give you their decisions, maybe you're not ready. This is a phase of life. You need not be silent. You can open up with your parents or your elders. You can discuss things with a bit of open-mindedness. Fine, they may be trying to control. Okay, they may be trying to handle you the way they handled you earlier in your school age, but still, they have good wishes for you. Sit with them, talk to them. Some things they may like, some things they may not like. Now you start communicating. That's your first step. As you communicate, as you open up and start discussing, you will also feel free. They will also feel free, and both of you would start opening up. And then the communication will become more natural. Sometimes they may differ with you. Fine, they can differ. But you see, you have choices. You can discuss with them. I agree. Your thought may be a perfect one. Your experience is may be saying right thing. But you see, can I choose this way? I would like to take this way. You can. There are better ways to do that than becoming silent or becoming aggressive. You should try other methods as well. Friends, your emotions play a very, very important role. If you're able to handle your emotions in a better way, you'll be able to handle your situations in a better way. This is emotional intelligence. Understanding your emotions, understanding your responses, understanding your reactions, and then using those in a better way in handling external situations requires a different intelligence and understanding. Mindfulness is a beautiful way through which you'll be able to understand yourself. Everything has a background. What is happening in the mind, the way you think has a background. Maybe an experience, maybe a memory, maybe a perspective, maybe a belief. If someone has been bullied a lot, maybe there is a belief which comes into the person's mind that if I would be silent, I would be bullied. So I should be aggressive. Somewhere that belief entered. Then the person has passed through that situation, but that belief is working everywhere. Maybe that situation of bullying is not still existing in the present day life, but still the person carries it. Hey, sit with yourself. Is this belief still relevant? Do you need to handle things in the same way? Are those situations changed in my life? Look at yourself, think about it. Then you will have a different perspective. Then you will redefine your belief. Then you will be able to look at things in a different dimension. Friends, the choices that you make are very, very important. And you see, there is less experience. That is the reason there is a lot of confusion. Maybe elders have a lot of clarity because they have different other experiences. And you may have a lot of confusion. But this confusion state is a beautiful state believe me, you're not going to have this level of confusion anytime in your life. And then in this confusion, you are actually thinking in different dimensions. Maybe you are a bit indecisive. It is not because that you can't make decisions, but it is because that you are a bit more careful because of less experience. You want to look at all the other dimensions before taking a decision. And you are doing it all alone. You can take help. You need not hesitate. Maybe you have hesitation with some people, then you can do it with some other people. Discussing helps. Opening up helps. And if you can write it down, any confusion that comes in your mind, if you can just jot it down, write it down, and then write all the different possibilities and make a small SWOT analysis, or you see what are the opportunities that is providing, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the opportunities that you have, what are the threats that you have. If you can analyze them in these different dimensions, if you can just dot out your thoughts, if it is a fear, write it down that it is a fear. So what is the background of this fear? Any fear, when you expose yourself to that, consciously, you'll overcome that fear. Some of you may have stage fear. How to overcome it? There is only one way. Expose yourself to that. Then you will overcome it. Then how to expose myself to that? Take help. Try to do it bit by bit, systematically. Or push yourself, saying that you can do. Prepare yourself and then try it. Any fear which comes into the mind, any fear, first of all, we need to identify and accept to ourselves that yes, this is existing. And then you create your thoughts, create a vision in your imaginations, creatively visualize that you are passing through that and overcoming it. And then expose yourself to that fear. And once you get exposed to that, it's like vaccination. It has no more effect on you. Anything which you overcome will not come back to you. Anything is just coming back to you again and again means that you have not done your little effort or better effort to overcome it. The moment you overcome it, that fear again doesn't come to you. So your every emotion gives you strength or makes you weak. You can use your emotions to strengthen yourself. And when you strengthen your core, when you strengthen your mind, and when you strengthen your inner world, then naturally the choices that you make change, and also you manifest better things into your external world. These are the few thoughts which I thought I would share with you, and I can open the session for a few questions, if any.
Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful session. We have received quite a lot of questions from our participants during the session.
Okay.
And some of the questions were really intriguing. However, given the time limit of the session, we have compiled a set of a few important questions to be taken up today. I'll be asking the first question, sir. It's from one of the participants. How to handle anxiety attacks which make me feel very weak and OCD?
Okay.
The need to check the work multiple times to ensure it is correct, and such kind of a behavior, OCD behavior. How to handle that, sir?
See, you need to understand what actually this obsessive compulsive disorder is. An obsession comes into your mind, and then mind gets preoccupied with that obsession. And there is a definition, there is a thought which comes into your mind that, for example, there is an obsession that my hands are dirty. Now, especially we are all going through this corona situation. So government on your mobiles are continuously telling to you that you need to wash your hands. You're continuously washing your hands to be clean, sanitizing them. Now, do it in a very natural state. Yeah, it is. When you're doing it, do it with mindfulness. Then it would be a natural thing. If not, if it gets into an obsession, that there is a feeling that my hands are not clean. And if that continuously that thought bothers you, and then when you wash your hands, then you feel that it's clean. And after some time, again the thought comes. Whenever this obsessive thought comes into your mind, then unless and until you do that compulsive activity, you'll not feel relief. And then when you just wash your hands, then you feel the relief, and that anxiety comes down. And that is for a small period, so small time. And again that thing comes. It's a continuous process. See, obsessive compulsive disorder requires two things. Okay, it is a conditioning which has taken place in the brain. And then you may have to deal it with a bit of medication. And at the same time, the anxiety which comes into your mind, there is also a counseling process. Your clinical psychologist can help you in handling that anxiety. Okay, whenever this thought is coming into your mind that I need to wash my hands, for example, that is one of the obsession. Okay, and then immediately that anxiety starts coming into your mind and pushing you. Then if you can, at that time, if you can just practice, okay, creating gap between that stimulus and immediately that response. Here the stimulus is your thought. The response is that need for you to go and do. The obsession, the compulsion is that the need for you to go and wash. If you can create that space in between these two, by bringing some other thoughts into your mind, by calming down, the space which you create between these two, the more the space you create, then the more control you have on the obsession and the compulsion. And then here you'll be dealing with two things, the compulsive behavior and then the obsession itself. Here you are creating the space. On the other hand, you need to, it's not always just the thought. Here a bit of medication is also required. You need to consult your psychiatrist also. That would help you. Early the best. If not, you'll be hiding. You'll be not telling to anyone. And you'll be feeling guilty about it. There is nothing to feel guilty about it. Thus it is a state and you need to handle it. In that way, you can try.
Thank you, sir. That was really helpful.
Yeah.
Another question from one of our participants. How to overcome grief or guilt after an anger outburst on someone we love, like, so for example, our parents?
I could not listen to you properly.
Okay, I'll repeat the question. The question is, how to overcome a grief or guilt after an anger outburst on someone we love, for example, our parents?
Okay. See, here, your parents, the anger outburst, the very question explains that the anger outburst is out of an aggressive expression. Then you're feeling guilty about it. Yes, you definitely will feel guilty about it because the parents who served you so much, who have given you so much of love, and you also love them so much, and then you created something. So the best way to deal with that is go sit with them. You need not, okay, if you just say sorry, that's fine. But you see, you need to understand that it is an impulse which has come in you in this age. Okay, that is a reactive thing which you have done. You can sit with them, talk to them, identify those elements which are creating that type of things to you, and you can tell to them that we can sort it out in a different way. If you just look at yourself and what are those little situations which are you are having differences with your parents where you are becoming impulsive, generally there will be very few. Identify those things and then sit with them, not at the point when you have become aggressive. Okay, there would be definitely guilt at that point of time. But when things are normal after some time, sit with them, discuss with them what are those things which pokes you, which provokes you for impulsive behaviors, or you can sort out what is it that it is upsetting them, and see to it that how we can set a process to that, so that you are not doing such things which irritates them, and they have better ways to communicate that to you, and then your impulsiveness will come down. And when you talk to your parents in a normal state, in a very constructive way, you will find more control on your impulses. That can be a better solution. You can try this and try other ways as well.
Thank you so much, sir, for that response. The next question is, someone asks that I get sad very soon on small things. For example, I cry at a drop of the hat. How to become emotionally strong?
Fine. So now, why do you cry? If you just look at yourself, when are you crying? When someone is saying something? So there may be a possibility of a strong need for approval. It's possible that you may be wanting others to approve you, and for which, if someone is not approving you, you're feeling sad about it, or someone is saying something negative, or someone is not agreeing with you, you're feeling sad about it, and you are sticking on to that feeling of sadness. Is it practically possible that everyone approves you? Is it not possible that other people may have different thoughts which may not match with you? Maybe your choices are different and the parents' dreams for you are different. Maybe you are thinking in one dimension, your friends are thinking in other dimension. You have disagreements. And how is it practical that everyone should agree with you, your perspective? So here, your need for approval generally may be contributing towards your sadness. And then your mental acceptance that I will be the same way with people even if they differ with me, and I respect the differences. You're redefining it. Maybe you'll be able to handle it in a better way. And you see, generally, some people agree with us, so we call them friends. And some people continuously differ with them, so we may call them something else. But actually, why are some people constantly differing with us? Because they have a different way of looking at things. And if we start acknowledging that these people have a different way of looking at things, then we'll be a bit easy with them. And even if someone is criticizing you, then you're feeling sad about it. That means that you're losing some belief in yourself. Maybe look at yourself. Look at all your resources. Look at all the resources you have. Recollect all those wonderful moments in your life where you're very, very successful. You may have failures as well, but you're successful. Others' definitions, opinions on you need not be your definitions of yourself. Okay, go with your own feeling. Go with your own identification of your qualities. If some people may call you a very good person, some people may call you a very bad person. You don't become bad or good on the basis of other people calling you, but on the basis of how you feel about yourself and on the basis of the choices that you make. You won't become bad when someone says you're bad. You don't become very good just by someone saying good. By what you are, you are. So if someone is saying something and you're feeling sad about it, ask yourself, am I taking it constructively? Is this any way helping me? Is this any way helping me to grow or improve? Be mindful. First of all, that emotion comes, fine. Acknowledge that you are sad. Silently observe the intensity of that sadness and calmly detach yourself from that emotion by focusing on your breath, by focusing on positive thoughts or creating affirmations and connecting to those affirmations. You see, you're sad because you're connecting to that. Then if you are connecting your mind to something constructive and something positive and something about your good qualities, then instead of sadness, you'll be experiencing happiness. Detach yourself for a few moments. Yes, acknowledge that you are sad at this moment and then slowly redirect. It is channelizing your mind. It's like a meditation. Meditation is, Medri means the mind, the thoughts. Channelizing your thoughts from one emotions towards the other emotion will be helping you to overcome it.
Thank you so much, sir, for the response. I'll ask the next question. The next question someone asks is, how to handle negative people around you who keep on demotivating us and we are trying to remain positive. I will also add something to it, sir,
Yeah.
from my side. Uh, since we discussed during the session that everyone has some of the other qualities, so is it really fair to brand someone as a negative person? So that is something to add to the question that has been asked by the participant.
Okay. So, how do you define a person to be a negative person or a positive person? Everyone has positive thoughts and everyone has negative thoughts. Okay. Even you have positive thoughts and you have negative thoughts. Maybe some people are perceiving to be a very positive person. Maybe some people are perceiving you to be a negative person. But see, what is important? What is the quality of communication that is taking place mentally, verbally, and in action when we are interacting with those people? We find them to be negative people because with interactions with them, we are absorbing some negative energy, and maybe they are also absorbing some negative energy from us. See, now we need to understand that beautiful mechanism of our mind. Have you ever noticed sometimes you're thinking of someone and suddenly your mobile rings, and then you just lift your mobile and see, and suddenly you realize that you're thinking of some person and the same person calls you? And it surprises you. You thought it's coincidence, but actually it is the energy that passes on. You are thinking about that person and the person feels it. Maybe we have not measured it scientifically yet. We don't have enough data. That's the reason why we consider it to be coincidence. But many times it happens. And sometimes you don't need to call someone, but suddenly think of someone and just call them. And they say that, I was just thinking of you and here comes your phone. Because it is the mental energy which transmits. So your thoughts, whenever you're thinking, maybe externally, you're smiling at someone, but internally you're thinking negatively about someone. You see, their mind has that energy to pass through that smile and feel exactly what you are thinking about the person. In the same way, maybe someone is smiling at you, but having a negative thought towards you, but you're not comfortable with that person because you're absorbing that negative energy. What if we can have a shield? What if we can do something through which we don't absorb that negative energy? Okay, they are saying something or the other. What if you don't take what they're giving? If you neutralize your mind when they are saying something negative, you understand. Okay, you see whether what they are saying really means it. Am I like that? Then your inner voice says, no, I'm not that. Then still, why are they saying? There is some intention behind, negative intention. Okay, now I understand that it is not to be taken. Now I understand that it is not with any positive intention that they are sharing something. They're just criticizing. They're just making fun, or they're just saying something. Now I understand that I need not take it. It is about taking it. Okay, what if someone says, and how do we don't take it? Okay, you are passing on the road. Someone someone is shouting at you, abusing you. And suddenly you turn back and see. You felt very bad because that person is saying something abusive before everyone on the road. Then when you turn back and you saw the person, you find that the person is not mentally stable. Maybe he is psychotic, or he has a mental disorder. And then how do you look at that person now? Would you really feel bad about it? About all the abusive words that the person has spoke? How did you get that ability to ignore everything in a just a fraction of a second? Just because of that thought that this person is not a stable person, mentally stable person, is mad or something like that. Then 1 second you could detach all those emotions and feelings. So now my point is not to feel that those people are like that, but to understand that you have that mental capacity. You have that mental ability to disconnect with any emotion just within a second. So now what is the perspective that you can give to this incident with this person who is very toxic towards you or very negative towards you? And now at that moment, this may be because of jealousy or because of hatred or because of some emotion, this person is contributing negative and toxicity towards me. Now, what is it that I need to do? Define it in which way so that I don't take anything. When I understand that this person has no intention of giving any developmental input and this person is just doing it for criticism, now, if I can look it and define it in a different way, then I will not be taking it. So at that, on the road, when someone is abusing you, in a second, just by identifying that this person is, just by changing the perspective, the shift, you could erase all the feelings and emotions within a second. So you have the same ability to do it here also. So how do you define it is what you need to work with yourself. And that redefinition of that, detaching yourself from that expectation that this person should become positive. I'm doing so much good to this person, but still this person is saying like this. Detaching from that perspective and looking at it and redefining it in a different way gives you the ability to disconnect with the emotion. Try it and see.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, someone asked that you mentioned that to find that unique quality, we need to introspect. So is it difficult for some people and easier for the others? Because sometimes I can't see what my unique quality is. How can I find my unique quality in this situation?
See, first of all, I appreciate this question. This is your first step towards identifying your unique quality. What is my unique quality? The search has started. You see, why some people may have identified it very early. You know, nowadays on the TV, you see so many child artists performing extraordinarily. These child artists have identified their art at a very early age, and they could explore that. Maybe some people are identifying at a different age, maybe youth age, maybe middle age, maybe at a retirement stage also. What you require to identify your unique quality, first of all, your belief in yourself that you have some unique quality, but you have not yet identified it. There is a treasure inside which is not yet explored. And we are in a process of doing it. There can be a gold mine besides the hill nearer to your house. Inside the hill, maybe it is looking, you're just exploring only the environment there. You're not seeing anything inside. But when they do research and identify it, then they find a treasure inside it. In the same way, you have a treasure inside you. And how do you identify it? You need to give yourself that exposure. You need to explore different arts, maybe you need to take yourself into that different environment and then observe what's there in your especially in you. If you can sit with yourself and start writing down all your wonderful successful incidents in your life. Wherever you have identified that I have this thing in me, I have that thing in me, and you sit with yourself, you may have already at this point, by this point of time, you may have so identified so many qualities, but why are you unable to connect to them? Why are you unable to see them? Maybe you are seeing others' qualities and appreciating them more than that of looking at yourself. Now sit with yourself, identify all the best things that have happened in your life. Write down all those successful incidents and write those qualities which have contributed for that success. Then you will be identifying so many qualities of yours. And that would be your motivation. That would help you to understand that, oh, I have so many successful things which have happened in my life. And so many qualities which have helped for the success. And some of you may be saying, I don't have much successes in life. No, there are so many successful things. Maybe you are just revisiting only those memories where you are where you had failures. Now try to consciously make an effort to go and connect with all those incidents in life where you have very good success. And you got that success because of some quality in yours. Identify that quality as well. Let me tell you, if you make a conscious effort, you'll find so many of them in you. And going through all of them, doing this activity will help you to identify that already you have so many things. And then definitely you will connect. In that you will find a pattern, and that pattern will help you to identify that uniqueness of yours.
Thank you, sir, for answering the question. So the next questions that comes is, how do you increase the self-esteem and confidence?
Okay. Right. See, confidence builds up. Okay. Confidence builds up on the basis of your ability to handle different situations. Fine. If there are continuously some failures, maybe your confidence comes down. Maybe in the present scenarios, you need to have the definition of success that you are giving to yourself is slightly bigger than what actually you are able to achieve. Maybe if it is slightly bigger, that would be goal. If it is too big, then naturally you'll feel this less confident. You need to build it up. Okay. By demonstrating to yourself every day in a little by little way, okay, by having your goals in a very realistic way, achievable way. Okay. If you're having a very big goal, which is not at all practical, which in the time frame that you have in the day, you will not be able to achieve it. And then you define that only if I achieve that, then I will value myself. So naturally your confidence will come down. So start with, whenever you're feeling that your confidence is coming down, okay, try to do with every little things, you build up your confidence. Okay, by keeping your goals very realistically, a bit minimally to start with, and then focusing on achieve one after another, small goals you achieve, and demonstrate it to yourself that yes, you can do it. And then naturally your confidence comes. Self-esteem is in your peer group. If you're able to do something maybe equal to others or better than others, naturally your self-esteem will increase. Within your peer group, if you're not able to do equally or maybe better than, or in any area you're not able to do anything, so then naturally your self-esteem may come down. But you see, within the peer group, everyone has a different way of doing it. It's not necessary that you would be achieving or doing something better than others in those particular areas. Someone may have their appetite towards languages, towards poetry. Someone may have their appetite towards science, scientific experiments. Someone may have their appetite towards research. Someone may have their appetite towards arts. Someone may have their appetite towards something else. And then you need to identify your appetite, your interests. And then you need to value that. If it is not in that group where you are around, maybe they may not have that appreciation towards that element which you have. That doesn't mean that you don't have that. That doesn't mean that within that small group of people who don't value what you're having, that doesn't define you. Maybe they're out in that world, there are some other people who would be interested in it. Maybe one of you has a lot of interest in photography, but your group is not interested in photography. That doesn't mean that you have low self-esteem. You need not compare it with that limited exposure or the area of group which you have. You can expand. Okay, let it be through social media, let it be through special interest groups. Join them and explore those qualities which you have. Find out those areas where other people are also in that dimension, and naturally your self-esteem will increase. But you see here, one point is there. Now here, a self-esteem is getting based on the external acceptance of others. Temporarily, that may be helpful. But you see, it is not on the basis of others looking at you. How you feel for yourself is more important here. That natural way of appreciating yourself, appreciating that quality of yours which you have, that will increase your self-respect and self-esteem than depending upon other people. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for the response. We'll be taking one more question before we conclude the session. And I think it's one of the most important questions for the students.
Okay.
So what tips would you like to give for students to become a successful person and to lead a happy life?
Students to lead a happy life. First of all, my suggestion would be a student. Student state is a learning process. Focus on your learning. Okay, if you could do it in a very systematic way, you will be able to learn things in a better way and in a long term. Instead of just preparing only for that examination time, won't be really helpful. Your authority over the subject would be very, very minimal. You're actually making a memory practice exercise. So memory exercise of reproducing what you have memorized into the examination is not actually learning. It won't stay with you for a longer period of time. And let me tell you, whenever there is a beautiful point here. When you are studying, there are some points where you get disconnected with the flow of the lessons. Whenever you feel that disconnection in the flow of the lessons, okay, the next sessions you join, you'll not be able to connect with that properly. So that is a very crucial moment. At that point of time, that logic of fitting into your brain got somewhere disconnected. You need to help yourself at that point of time. That's a very crucial point. You need to discuss things with your friends. You need to discuss things with your lecturers. You need to Google, you need to study, make a little extra effort to just connect those missing links. If you connect those missing links, then the flow, again, you'll be in the flow. If you don't connect those missing links, you are disconnected, and then you'll not be connected with the flow. You'll be coming mechanically, not learning things. The other important element is, in a student life, you need to categorize things properly. You need to allocate your time and resources to everything in a proper way. Here, you may be interested in your entertainment. Yes, give some time to your entertainment as well. You may be interested in your extracurricular things. Yes, you need to allocate some time for that as well. You may have some hobbies. Yes, you need to provide some time for the hobbies as well. But at the same time, be realistic about the fact that this is a state of your life where you are learning. And what you are learning is something for the lifetime, is something for the career which you are focusing on to. And that perspective, if you're looking at that perspective as that dimension as an
Uh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm interrupting again. The same problem has started to come again. Your voice is cracking.
okay.
Just, yeah. Yeah, now it is fine. Now it is fine.
Okay, fine, right. So here you are building your personality. It is not just the subject that you are learning. You are learning communications. Okay, get up and ask questions. Speak up in the groups. Okay, improve your communications. Okay, take other opinions. Take ideas from other people as well. So all these, you are building up your personality at this age. Focus not just on the learning process, but at the same time, focus on your personality development as well. An integrated approach towards education is something which is going to help you a lot. Another dimension is, along with the theory, focus on the practical dimension as well. If you're in a commerce student, okay, connect your subject with the reality of life. If you're an engineering student, connect your subject with theory with the reality of the practical things. Visit places and try to relate it more. Then your learning process would be different. Okay, you'll be able to do it in a better way. At the same time, how you handle disturbances, internal or external, is an art. Okay, you need to take help if required. Learn that art, and you will be able to do it in a better way. And at the same time, I suggest the ancient Indian way of learning was quite different from that what we are doing it these days. Earlier, there was no textbooks. The whole learning process was listening once and then memorizing it for the lifetime, understanding and learning it for the lifetime. They had a different, that's what it's called ekasantyagraha. Listening once they listen it and then practice on it, and then that is becomes a part of them. So there is something which the ancient system had, which we are missing. That is the power of meditation, the power of mindfulness, the power of that neutral state of emotions, which used to help them. That was a process of integrated process of education at that point of time. Now, if we can also do that and add mindfulness and meditation, as there are so many institutions and so many organizations which can help you. As at Brahmakumaris, we conduct that mindfulness and meditation, Raj Yoga meditation, easy Raj Yoga meditation process, where the moment you, step by step, as you get inside the meditation process, you will understand how beautiful your mind is and how many positive thoughts it can create and how powerful your thoughts are. And at the same time, when you connect yourself with the divine, when you connect with the nature, with the environment, and then it expands the mind with giving a bigger vision. All these things will help you as a student to be more successful. And I just wanted to say one more thing. Failures are very, very, very important. Failures are very precious. Every failure is helping you to grow from one level to the other level. Failures actually help you to grow, help you to realize that the areas where you need to improve. So don't get scared of failures. Allow failures to be a part of life. Every time you can't have success, and every time you will not have failure. Okay, be courageous to experiment, be courageous to try again, give yourself a second chance. And with that optimistic approach, definitely you'll be successful.
Thank you so much, sir, for the response. So we have come to the end of the session. I hope the participants will cherish it for a very long period of time. So I, Gaurav Talan, on behalf of NSS Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University and all the participants, extend a hearty vote of thanks to Mr. Rama Krishna sir for gracing this session with your words of wisdom and sharing your experiences with us. I would also express my gratitude and thank to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Mahesh Verma for his guidance. I would thank our program coordinator Professor BVR Reddy for his encouragement and support. I thank Brahm Kumaris for providing us with eminent speakers for these insightful sessions. I would also like to extend my thanks to all the participants for joining us today. We hope to see you connected with us in the times to come as well. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Priyanka. And I thank the university for giving me this opportunity to share a few thoughts with the students. And all the participants, I thank you very much for patiently listening. I wish you all heartfelt success in your life. All the best. Namaskar.